And hello everyone, this is Mr. Harper, and this is our beginning of our discussions on the integumentary system. Integumentary system is your skin, and for this first section, a couple objectives that I want you to be aware of and to think about. What we want to be able to do here is list the three membrane types that are part of the integumentary system and the location of those three membranes. So let's jump right in. So body membranes cover your body's surface, and they also line body cavities, and they form protective sheets around organs. So line body surfaces. Here is a membrane that is your skin. It's covering your body surfaces. They line body cavities. Here's a cavity in your body. Remember the cranial cavity and the spinal cavity, the thoracic cavity, the digestive cavity, and the pelvic cavity. Lining those cavities are membranes. And, excuse me, they also form protective sheets around organs, in this case, the liver. Now, one thing I do want to say about membranes is membranes are tissues. Remember, your body's made of atoms that then in turn make up cells, and cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up organ systems. So body membranes are a type of tissue. Now, there are two types of membranes. The first is called epithelial membrane. Epithelial membranes cover the body and line internal structures like that liver that we just saw, or line cavities. Connective membranes are the second major kind of membranes, and they are found in joints in your body. Joints are where two bones meet. We typically think of a joint as a moving thing. So there are areas where bones meet that don't move, and those are joints. But what we're talking about here with connective tissue is in joints that move. So those are the two main types. Additionally, in those two types of main types, there are three kinds of membranes. There's a cutaneous membrane, a mucous membrane, and a serous membrane. Now, skin, that's a membrane. It's actually a type of cutaneous membrane. Let's talk about these three kinds of membranes individually. First, the cutaneous, which is your skin, as you can see here in the picture. It is a dry membrane, which means to the touch it's dry. Now, you can sweat and make it not dry, but typically it is a dry membrane. It's your outermost protective boundary. Your skin is very, very important, and we'll just talk about the reasons why. But without it, you would die. The second membrane is called the epithelial membrane. The second type of epithelial membrane is a mucous membrane. Mucous membranes are moist membranes, and they line all body cavities that open to the exterior body surface, like respiratory, your digestive, urinary, or reproductive tracts. Now, what that means is, think about your nose. There's mucus or snot in your nose. It's a moist membrane inside of your nose or inside of your mouth. That is a moist membrane to the touch. Those membranes open to the outside of your body surfaces. Your mouth, you could open your mouth, it's open. Your nose, it's open. And likewise, the entire digestive tract. Remember, we talked about how it's a long tube from your mouth all the way to your anus, to your butt. Those are all open to the exterior body. You can put food in it, and it can go through this entire tube. Likewise, the respiratory system, you breathe in, it goes down into your lungs, down the trachea. That's all open to the exterior. Your urinary system, when you urinate, when you pee, that's open to the outside, and likewise your reproductive tract. Those are mucous membranes. They are moist to the touch. The third kind of epithelial membrane is called a serous membrane. They line body cavities that are closed to the outside of the body. For example, the lining of your heart. You can't drink or breathe or urinate or anything like that that leads to your heart. So those body cavities are called serous. Likewise, the lining of the lungs, the outside surface of the lungs, not the air that's going inside, those would not be serous membranes. Those would be mucus, but the outside lining of the layer, they are called serous membranes. The reason why they're called serous is they have a fluid that is in between the outside layer and the inside membrane that is it's a slippery fluid that helps things move and not have friction. And your heart, it moves as it beats. Likewise, your lungs move as they inflate and deflate. And they need a serous fluid to keep the friction down so that there's not pain and wear. So those two layers, visceral and parietal, separated by the serous fluid. Don't worry so much about the layers, but do realize the fluid. Now, there are also synovial membranes. Synovial membranes surround those joints, those movable joints. They line what's called bursae and tendon sheaths, and they secrete a lubricating fluid, much like the serous, that help to cushion the movements. Let's talk about this bursa. Bursa is like little tiny sacs of fluid that are like shock absorbers. They deform like kind of like, I think about them like a balloon, and you can push on the balloon and it would change shapes. Likewise, these little bursae can change shape to absorb shock and line tendon sheaths. Tendon sheaths connect muscles to bones or muscles to muscles in your body, and they have to be able to move. And they have these sheaths. A sheath is a surrounding thing. You can think like putting a sword in its case. That sword's case is called a sheath. These sheaths surround these tendons, and they have this lubricating fluid in them so those tendons can move and not experience pain. So, let's go back just a tiny bit. And I want you to remember membranes. They cover body surfaces, they line body cavities, they form protective sheaths. So remember that about body membranes. Mr. Harper, out.